Good morning, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for 2023. This is your sneak peek into the future. We're going to take a look at today. We're going to take a look at the overall energy for 2023, and we're going to do a deep dive into the first quarter of 2023. And if you would like to see into all of the quarters, there will be a link in the description box below that will allow you to access that information. Look at this. You guys have here the energy of the cow. It says give with unconditional love and grace. So that's your overriding energy for 2023. We're going to take a look at an area to really focus on. We're going to look at what areas will be to focus on for change, where the change is coming. When I get to that part, because I'm using the Ching, I will have to pause the video to throw the coins. I don't want to waste time on camera doing that, and to get the messages, and then we will continue with the reading. We have we're going to cover career and finance, and we're going to look at what changes, where can you focus your energy to improve all of your relationships, your romantic relationships, your family relationships, your work with your coworkers, your children, your parents, whatever, right? And so it's always the change that we make inside of ourselves that plays out into the world. So they really want you, wow, okay, I want to look at this again, right? Overall energy is give with unconditional love and grace. This is energy of unconditional love for yourself. First and foremost, when we can love ourselves unconditionally, it makes it capable, makes it easier to fill up our own cup. Then we have the love that we can give to others. And this grace is about, perceived mistakes, which are really just growing opportunities. All the growth happens on the edges, right? It's when we push out a little further. And so are you going to know always what the right best step is? No, of course not, because if you did, why are you here? That's not learning and growing. You got to push past the known into the unknown. And when you do that in any aspect or arena of your life, whether it's in how do you manage a relationship or a new career project or idea, or managing money or relationships with your family, every time you push past the known into the unknown and you try something new and different, there is opportunity for growth, and success is there. But a lot of times that growth and that success comes from figuring out what works and what doesn't work. And so when you don't expect perfection from yourself, and you instead take the journey of self-discovery and discovery of what works and what doesn't work in any aspect of your life, that is when you are mastering how to truly live life. And so for the first quarter, you have the card of the guinea pig. Do your part to illuminate the universe. But you will notice that the heart is what is lit up. Your part to illuminate the universe in the first quarter of 2023 is to shower yourself with unconditional love, and then it will be able to spread out to others, because you have the card of the Dove of Peace that came with it. Spread messages of peace and harmony. So you have the energies here of Archangel Raphael, Mother Mary, or Archangel Mary, however you want to approach that nurturing mother energy, and Boki. B-H-O-K-P-I. I'm sure I don't say that correctly, but this is the archangel that watches over the birds, works with the birds. And so look for messages and guidance to come in. When you see a bird, that it doesn't matter where, or if it's in a picture or something on TV, or when you're out in nature, or when you're driving or something like that. When you see a bird, note what the bird is, and then look it up, spiritual meaning of, because there are messages going to be coming to you through the birds. If you want to get messages and guidance from spirit, you can ask for signs and symbols, and you can ask to see a feather, or you can ask for to see a particular kind of bird. This conversation that you have with spirit using signs and symbology, this becomes your own unique code, conversation, alphabet, language. And so this is something that you can develop working with birds a lot during this first part. Wow, okay. I am not going to need to pause the video with the card they sent for the I Ching, so not this time. You have here this This first quarter, the area to focus on, you have the card of the Four of Wood. And so I'm using the elements, right? And the card of Four of Wood says, wait, rest, catch your breath. So this first quarter of the year is an opportunity for you to gather your strength, to set your roots into your own heart space, to don't push too hard. If you are an Aquarius rising, this would be January is your fourth house. Is your 12th house, and that's the ending of cycles. That's the part where we pull our energy in and we prepare. And then Aquarius season, when the sun shines on you, that's when you start to spring forward into life. But a lot of growth happens beneath the surface, and so I feel like there's a lot of beneath the surface going to be happening for you. Allow yourself the opportunity to sit in the stillness. You don't need to be out and about. Don't push too hard. Of course, you have to show up for work. You have to do those kinds of things. But make sure you're in a routine, that you are getting enough sleep, that you're strengthening your immune system by choosing to eat foods that are appropriate for you. Staying hydrated. They're saying stay hydrated. So that's that nurturing phase. It's almost as though, for some of you may actually be pregnant, but it's like there's this energy of nurturing a little seed of something that's going to grow into something much bigger, and there is a need for you to focus your energy on what it is you're trying to grow. And this comes from the energy of trust of yourself, trusting in the process, and giving yourself the space and the grace to work through the self-mastery of unconditional love of yourself, so that you can spread that out. That is the overriding energy, but it is also, this can be transferred into a career advancement. This can be transferred into a project at work. This can be transferred into your relationship with your significant other. You know, the more time that you spend in letting something, it feels like marinating, letting something just develop, the healing. There's like this healing energy, but the healing, it feels like you're past the part where there was a big gash, open wound, and you moved into the part where it is the recuperation, the recovery. So let's say, like you have the flu, right? And you feel really bad, and you're really super sick, and you're just miserable, right? And then the symptoms dissipate, but you're still not up to strength. You're not up to 100%. And that's what this energetic signature seems to be. And so when you're in those initial stages of recovering from this illness, you do the things like you have the chicken soup still. You still take, the time to rest. You work hard and you rest a lot. It's not about pushing really hard, because if you do, you end up going right back into your body's not ready yet. And so there is something in your energy, and I really feel it has to do with your emotional energy. It could be a physical illness for some of you. I can see where that could be a thing, but this feels more like just you are healing from something that was deeper than that. With Chiron and Aries right now, we're all working through our inner child issues, and learning how to nurture and love ourselves, and mother ourselves, and father ourselves, and parent ourselves in a way that we deserved. Oh, everyone deserves it, but we're also a product of our environment, and so your parents may not have known what they were doing either, and so there's a need to give them the unconditional love and grace and space to also do their own healing work. And you may be a parent and you're healing, and you realize that maybe it didn't go like you would have preferred with your children, and so you need to give them the space and the grace to also go through their healing. And yet you just do this from this part of sitting in the energy of love. And I really want to encourage you as a practice every morning, maybe when you're in the shower, before you get out of bed in the morning, just for a couple minutes to lay there in the energy of love. just connect in to this. It's very pink and like cotton candy pink energy, and just let that start here in the heart space and watch it filter out over all the things you care about, and then begin your day in that sweet cloud of self-love, and then it is to spread it out. You have an opportunity, if you go through this healing process, to really connect in with somebody significantly in your life, whether this is a romantic connection or, again, healing maybe a rift with a friend or a family member. This is great energy for this. So let's take a look at so you have this here, the area to focus on here is this resting phase. Okay, it's important. If you don't let, so in the winter, that's the resting phase. And for the trees and stuff, they don't send the sap up. They put it down in the roots and they nurture themselves and they heal and they get ready and they gather their strength. And then in the spring, it springs forward, right? And that's when the sap starts running and you can get maple syrup, right? Or the trees start budding and things. So it's in that breath, that pause, before some serious transformative growth is going to happen. And I really think that based on the astrology, that new moon in your sign, this lunar new year is kicking off some really powerful, rapid growth energy. And so you may notice, even though this is for the first quarter, you may notice that you start to pick up speed throughout February. And by the time we hit spring, you are going to be in full flight. And so have patience with the process and just keep doing the things that feel good for you, that are right for you, that support you and nurture you. So here you have the card of the standstill. So you have rest and you have standstill. So the area of focus is the rest. The area of change is the standstill. That means that if you do the healing, the standstill will change. There will be progression of energy, but there is a need for you to allow that to happen by not rushing it. So start every day with loving yourself. As far as career and money goes, you have some really great stuff happening here. So in the area of career and finance, and you have the card of the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles means to focus on what you're doing and master it. So here the Pentacles are actually the phases of the moon. And so this is working through systematically something from beginning to end and really focusing on it. And on one side she's got, it looks like the nurturing stuff, the self-care, and on the other side there's the studying, the learning. And so definitely it is important, but look, she's looking toward the nurturing stuff more than toward the work stuff. And so there's a need to create a balance in your life. That is self-mastery. And the card of the now, we have the alarm clock going off. So there is an opportunity at work, in your finances, where you focus on the progression of the project, mastering each skill along the way. Don't rush to the next one. That rest, that pause, right? So make sure you understand and you have this part down, and then you move to the next section. So because we are going to have Mercury in retrograde throughout January, and then still in shadow, in shadow until about a couple weeks into February, middle of February there is going to be a slower energy. Mars stations direct in the middle of January and doesn't get out of its shadow again until March 20th. And so there is this first quarter is really about going into the details, paying attention, mastering a skill, leveling up in a way that is very organized and productive. And now you start. Now you do the work, and then you move to the next thing. But we're not rushing. We're not racing to the finish. We can't afford to miss the details along the way. So paying attention and making sure that you're taking care of your physical body, that you're not overworking, doing things in a nice routine. It feels very routine and flow, which will serve you well. Will serve you well when we get to the rapid growth phase that the second quarter promises to be. And so here you have the card of connection. And so, look, this is very tropical looking too. And so for some of you, this rest, maybe this is a time for you to plan a little time away with your significant other or with that group of friends that makes you laugh and makes you enjoy life. And I really think that this first quarter of the year, this part of the self-nurturing and self-care might be to really schedule some vacation time for yourself, to really connect in with somebody on an emotional level in a way that fills your heart up and brings you back into harmony and balance within. And so some of you, again, it could be a few things. You could be scheduling a vacation or like a honeymoon or a getaway with your significant other. It could be a family gathering where, you go on like a ski trip or something like that. Or it could be that you're just meeting up with a bunch of friends for a long weekend and you're just going to have a lot of fun. And it could be a few of those opportunities because it's really important for you to nurture yourself in whatever way that you can, and through the connection with people in your life that are really important to you, that really matter to you. And so this first quarter of the year, it is at work, progressing through, paying attention to the details, doing your finest work. But when you're not at work, it is about nurturing yourself, caring for yourself, not expecting everything to race ahead. You are gathering strength. You're gathering your resources of strength like the tree that's gathering the sap in the roots, because the second quarter, there's a lot of growth. So over the final message from Spirit is you literally have the card of strength, right? It is gathering that energy. You are hereby declared a strong, resilient warrior of heroic proportions. Enjoy your battles wherever they are, because you are guaranteed to come through them stronger, brighter, and more compassionate. Unconditional love. So whatever you're healing from, whether it is an emotional trauma, a physical ailment, give yourself the place and the space and the grace to do the healing completely so that you actually are good to go. You want to be good to go. So based on what I know of mythology, probably great hair and a six-pack. So for some of you, you may want to be thinking about bathing suit season coming up, right? But don't push it. It is starting slow. Just pushing a little to the edge, but doing a lot of resting. The recovery and the recuperation feels so very important for you during this first quarter of the year. All right, so I am going to offer a private, if you would like a private, and I would do all 4 quarters for that. That's in the description box below, or if you want to see the extended, the information for that is also in the description box below. But no matter what, you guys have a healthy and safe first quarter, and enjoy all of 2023, and I will see you again soon.